Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to The Morning Rush, the morning empowerment call for busy executives, heart-centered leaders causing the change we want to see in the world. What a week it has been, ladies and gentlemen. What did we do this week? Does anybody remember? You sometimes forget what happened through the course of a week, and you're like, what happened this week? We started Monday with objectives, key results, thinking about like, where's our target? Where are we going for the summer? Cara, Tuesday with promises, commitment, accountability. Christina and Ben on Wednesday. How do we embrace failure? Get some no's. Like, what does that look like? Thursday, we said, what do you want? Like, are you clear on what you want? Do you know what you want? Are you asking for what you want? And today is a conversation about completion. We could complete a week. Are we completing a task? My coach used to say quite often, did you do complete work? Like, what does it mean to do something completely? Could do it like sometimes the phrase is half-assed. Like I kind of did it, but I didn't really fully do it. Coaches used to say, like, did you give it your all? Did you do everything you could possibly do? Did you leave it all on the field or all on the rink or all on the ice or all on the playing surface, whatever it was? Did you do that? I had a conversation yesterday with some executives, and it was like, what does excellence look like? Like, what does excellence look like? If you're a professional and you're really like dialing in your practice, what does it mean to do it fully, completely, wholeheartedly? Or are we kind of like going through some motions? And sometimes it's okay to go through some motions, but this week is about, or this conversation is about, what's complete? What does it mean to be complete? What is complete work? It's also Friday, so we're happy. We're having some fun. Peter Swain's about to come into the conversation. So this is exciting. Heather G., you're kind of my Friday aficionado here. What do you think about when you think about like something's complete? And something for everyone, this might be, hey, like there's a relationship that I need to complete, or there's a project that I need to complete, which might just mean I'm not doing that project anymore. Like that project is complete. It's done. It's in my past. I'm not even thinking about it anymore. But Heather, when you hear the word complete, completion, what are you thinking?
I think for me, it comes to like a matter of like fulfillment, not only of like duties, but for when I think of complete, I go to like a deeper layer of like back to your why of like, okay, so sometimes we get to complete like going to the grocery store, but when it comes to business execution, it's definitely deeper because you're impacting and affecting others. So complete is, did I keep my word, do what I said I was going to do fully? Because when we're in business execution, we are in relationships with other people. And so if you're not and they think you are, things get muddy. So for me, completion is clarity and integrity.
Clarity and integrity. Yeah, it might be like, I'm complete with this relationship, or I'm complete with this conversation. I've given all that I want to give. I've gotten all that I was looking to get, and it's complete. It's like, what does that look like? And sometimes there's a power in completion, like knowing that like this thing is done. I'm moving forward. Like that might be something that comes out of this conversation for each of us to explore. So there's something to say, I'm done with that. I'm done with this thing. I used to have a coach, and it was he did a lot in the realm of emotional addiction and other addictions. And one of his phrases with, at some point, he said, you will say, I am so effing done with that. And then you're never going to do it again. You're not going to revisit it because you say, that's not for me. That could be a form of completion. Money Coach Chris, what do you say about completion? Like, can we complete our old views about money and then start some new ones? But we don't have to go there. But I know that's top of mind for you.
Yeah, no, I feel like we can definitely complete something. And it can be simply like you were stating, like, I'm just complete with this. This no longer serves me. It could be something that we thought we wanted to accomplish, but then at the same time, realize that that's no longer in alignment with who we are today and just say, I'm complete with that. Like, I no longer need to finish that project.
Yeah.
So it could be
Yes.
anything.
Sometimes it like lingers, like, oh, I was going to do this thing for the spring. I didn't do it, but I'm still holding on to it. It's still like, I should be doing it. I should be working on it. And we either say, yes, I'm going to work on it, or no, I'm complete with that. I don't need to like carry that in my space anymore. And I can move on, be free, and say, hey, this is what I'm focused on now. But sometimes we like drag that stuff from the past with us. And how much good does that do us? I don't know. I don't know. Marsha, do you think that does us any good to like carry the stuff from the past and drag it with us? Maybe sometimes, but I don't know. What do you think about this conversation?
I just had this exact conversation with my team a few minutes ago. When we go to sleep, and we reset our life. And when we wake up in the morning, our life gets to start again. And it seems like we're living the same life over and over, like it's one continuous life, because we actually reach back into the past and pull it into our present. And so we get the opportunity to not do that every single morning. We get the opportunity to recreate our life in whole or in part every single morning when we wake up and reset. And so and decide that we are complete with whatever is in our past and start anew and start fresh with our new ideas, new attitude, new life, new habits, new whatever. But we've been conditioned to not realize that there's a gap. And so when we wake up, as soon as we're aware that we're back in our awareness of who we are and our identities, we bring those forward. And if you ever seen those movies where people like have amnesia or they don't know who they are and somebody tells them who they are, suddenly they're doing stuff and they're acting in ways that are completely counter to their old nature and their old character. This is also why people who are like schizophrenic can suddenly do things in a new identity that they couldn't do in their other identity. It's all the same thing because they just didn't bring it forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you're bringing forward the idea initially of completing your day. Like, do we bring yesterday into today? Could we complete that and wake up fresh? Or if we woke up and said, hey, there's still something lingering, let me complete that. And then let me remind myself who I want to be today. We had a powerful conversation yesterday about like, who do we want to be today? Like, what energy do we want to bring? It was like, oh, maybe fun energy would be fun to bring into our work and into our relationships. And that can make all the, isn't it refreshing sometimes when you do the reset? Like, what, talk about refreshment, Marsha. I think there's like a refreshment when we get complete and then we create the new.
Yeah, there absolutely is. It's like when we decide we are done. And so, like, for example, sometimes when we're in school, we graduated, we got to say, hey, other people outside of us said, hey, you're complete. You're finished elementary school, you graduate, here's your certificate. You're finished high school, you're complete, here's your certificate. You're finished college, here's your certificate. You've graduated, you're complete. And we have other people telling us that. But we often don't do that for ourselves. And so we get to say, hey, I'm graduating myself from this. I am complete with this relationship or this job or this project or the way I'm dealing with my health. I'm complete with that. I'm now going to create a different identity and do a different thing. And I'm going into, yes, we get to decide for ourselves. And so I'm going to go into a different realm of who I am. And we get to choose that every single day.
I love it. Let's choose that. I like the word graduation too. It's like, hey, let's have a graduation ceremony. Like I just graduated from that way of being. Let's go to this way of being. Let's have this kind of day. And so with that, we're going to go and graduate into the breakout rooms. What do you want to complete today? Is there something that came up in this conversation? You're like, oh, yeah, like it's time to complete that. Or you might share something powerfully from your past that you did complete and it made a difference. And then I suggest also, what's one thing this week that you might want to remember? Maybe there's something to remind yourself of, something you got out of this week that thinking of it in this moment, you say, oh, that was cool. Like, I want to maybe bring that into next week, into the weekend. So what do you want to complete? Maybe is there something powerful you completed from the past that you could gain from? And then is there anything that you're taking away this week? Anything you're locking in?